Long ago, on the fields of battle, in the year 2017, two men met to decide once and for all what the most metal things in the universe are. For there can be only one. What's more metal? With your hosts,
And forever, going on.
Hey, everybody! Welcome to What's More Metal, the only podcast with two badass, let's say, acid-chugging comedians.
That's good. Accurate.
Yeah, pick the most metal shit in the universe. With me, as always, is the Dongolian horde to my Great Wall of Gina.
No. Oh my God, no.
Yeah.
No.
Look,
I do not approve.
I'm a firm believer in the rule in the comedy rule that nothing is too stupid to say really loud and in a high pitched.
It's true. I mean, you're right. That is. If you said that on stage, most of the time it would crush. Like people would laugh their asses off. I'm sure of it.
Yes, it's about believing in yourself, Dan. And so I've read. Up this way is the cut-off jean shorts to my never nude super metal producer Randy, DJ BJ,
Midnight Rider,
Lord Raw Dog, the Wizard of Wax, MP3PO.
MP3PO.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Thank you.
I like that one, but I also kind of hate it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Why? Because you're more of a dot wave kind of guy? You're an eighth file?
An OG.
Yeah. Anyway, and I'm comedian Nariko Watt. Anyway, this is the show, What's More Metal. This is where Dan and I will pick two random topics each week, and then we will give our suggestions for the most metal example of one of those topics. Mm-hmm. Yep. So this week we're doing most metal arcade game and most metal wonder of the world. Yeah. Wonder where the G-spot is. You know what I'm saying? Can I headline Helium? Like, they should just let me. I'm good.
You know, right now every Wednesday's open. You probably you could score one if you wanted. Yeah.
I could just go in and bother them with a mask on. Anyway, gang, so before we get into the stuff we're going to be talking about, getting into the show itself, we like to do a little something. We like to pick a little news story that's positive in the world because there's not a lot of positivity out there.
Right.
And we like to get that news, kind of amplify it for you. Mm-hmm. In a little segment I like to call the Posicore News. I'm gonna make a thing. I'm gonna make a nice hardcore posicore like you got to try thing.
You're good.
Yeah, you got to reach to the top. News. You
got this.
Yeah, a posicore is like positive hardcore is so funny because it's just like. You just take like a Tony Robbins like book, and then you just like set it to some chugga chuggas. Anyway, Randy, what's some positive news we got this week?
Well, you got two stories this week. Mm-hmm. The first one is pretty fucking rad. It's something that has been in place for 19 years now. A U.S. House of Representatives committee voted on Thursday to repeal the 2002 authorization for the use of military force that allowed the war in Iraq, which is huge. Now the president doesn't have the sole power to say, we're going to war. It has to be done by a bunch of people.
Yeah, by Congress, which is written into the Constitution. Congress gets to decide when we go to war.
Is that
right?
So a committee voted for it, but it has to go still get passed.
To Senate. It has to go to Senate.
It does. It has to go to the Senate.
So but it's already like it doesn't have to get passed in the House.
No, it says it's not a bill. It's just like it's a repeal of one that's in place
of an existing measure. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So it doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. That's excellent.
Yeah. So it does have to pass Senate, but again, and I don't expect Republicans to do anything good or positive in this world ever. But it's pretty much a slam dunk. Like the argument, you're just like, oh, we're trying to make this thing is unconstitutional. It's not, it's and so we're going to go back to the original Constitution, which is pretty much, you know what I mean? Like for Republicans, that's just, you might as well just be stroking the shaft and touching the balls, like that's their thing.
You'd be surprised how they're gonna figure out how to not vote for that.
Yes,
there's no way they will.
They're like, look, they're trying to make the president gay or whatever. Like you're just like, God damn it, you guys are fucking monsters.
They'll just straight up say, well, you know what, the Constitution's a living document. It's got to alter with the times.
Oh yeah.
They don't give a shit. Like they'll absolutely contradict themselves in the same sentence and not give a single fuck. And they're the people voting for them won't either.
Yeah, for sure. But we still it's looking good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we have the majority there.
Yeah.
So that would be, I don't know. I'm pumped on it. I'm very excited. Just because of George W. Bush alone, we've been in 2 fucking 20-year-long fucking quagmires that have completely pretty much just sucked money and out of our country and like
so fucking
killed
much,
and
dude.
maimed like millions of people. It's just like,
Yeah.
all right, cool. Thanks, one guy who was fun on Ellen, like whatever.
Just generating. They're just 2 terrorist generating machines in the Middle East. It's like creating people that hate the United States enough to blow themselves up to kill us. Like that's we could just stop doing that.
Also, I also don't like what name a time where Congress ran into a war it didn't love. You know what I mean? So it's not like it's not a silver bullet, but I still like it being harder. Like any kind of slight road bump.
Yeah.
One extra rubber stamp in between us and endless death. I'm pretty fucking. I'm down with.
Yeah. Speaking of which,
the
second story that we have here, that should, in theory, end death for quite a fucking few people, because New York City Council has voted yesterday to end qualified immunity for police officers.
Fuck yeah.
Which is fucking huge.
That fucking rocks.
Qualified immunity is essentially the thing that cops get to fall back on in any kind of raid or altercation situation, that they can just kind of claim qualified immunity, and anything that they did doesn't matter.
Yeah, I believe qualified immunity is just the thing where it's like, I was scared. Or whatever.
That's basically exactly what
I
it
had
is.
fear. So I shot that guy in the back as he ran away.
Yeah, they essentially have to prove that their lives were in danger enough to retaliate in some way, and it's like, okay, well.
Yeah, and that's down to I was scared.
Right.
Which is like, was a fear, it just drives me fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So that is huge, especially in a city like New York.
That fucking
rocks.
rocks.
A huge step forward.
That's fucking massive. These things are fucking hard fought, but I mean, hopefully you got to take any little small push toward, the betterment.
Yeah, for sure.
Got to fucking throw a bunch of people like at it and I don't know. It just sucks that that's how any progress happens in this country. It's like there's a pile of bodies, and they're just like, fine, a little, or whatever. It's like fucking heinous.
Well, move an inch.
Yeah, just like so fucked up.
It is fucked up.
But hopefully that'll be a huge trend. Hopefully that's a trend. Because, again, New York being the first city to do it, and also being the most populous city in the entire goddamn country.
It's the largest police force. By far. Their police force is larger than most countries' armies.
Right.
So it's
it's a big move. That's a big move.
So that's great. Fuck yeah. Well, that's great. That's all fucking good news. Fuck cops.
Yes.
And
All the
fuck
way.
the war machine. I feel like this is a good time to bring up we got a new sponsor this week, guys.
Wow.
No shit.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. I like it when we just get a nice influx of cash, fresh money.
For sure. I
Potentially.
couldn't even spend all of it from the last one, so
Yeah. I'm actually, this isn't even a chair. This is just a stack of hundreds.
yeah. That you're sitting on?
I'm just sitting. I got nowhere else to put it.
So do they not have my address?
I've been meaning to give them yours. Anyway,
Oh man, see.
once I find a way to get this in Venmo, dude, I'm gonna for sure. But right now it's all analog, and I like, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, hold on, I've just gotta put this in the camera. See, I can't. What do you want me to do? Anyway, guys, this week, What's More Metal is brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance. We're twice as good as the other guys. Liberty, 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 liberty. Liberty, 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 liberty. Whew! Hell of a jingle they have.
Yes, for sure. Yeah.
Hell of a jingle. Thank you, Liberty Mutual Insurance.
It should be Liberty Exclusive Mutual.
Woo! Yeah, that's going to be stuck in my head, huh?
Yeah.
Guys, this week we're doing, on What's More Metal, we're doing Most Metal Arcade Game and Most Metal Wonder of the World. I almost said World Wonder. What? Anyway, so I don't know, Dan, what do you want to start with? You want to start with World Wonder? Let's start with World Wonder. We'll go into arcade. How's that sound?
Sure. Sounds good.
I think that's the way to do it. And to decide who gets to go first between Dan and I on Most Metal World Wonder, Wonder of the World, Wonder of the World of Warcraft, is
Yeah, perfect.
we're going to do the most metal thing possible and roll 20-sided die. Randy will be rolling for us with the What's More Metal brand 20-sided die. It is black. It is the size of an infected testicle. The 1 says What's More Metal in a sweet metal font, and the 20, the natural 20, says Natch Twombo. Because that's what everyone has always yelled throughout history when you roll a natural 20.
I know I've been hearing it since I was a kid. So
Yeah. I believe Gary Gygax screamed it at his buddies.
the first time he rolled a 20 on a 20-sided die, he was like, Natch Twombo. And then everybody was just like, yep, that's how it is. That's what you say.
And then he ruthlessly slaughtered the entire party because that's how Gary Gygax played.
As a DM, you had to have a folder sheet. You had to have a binder full of characters because you were going to blow through all of them.
Yes. You also lost a pinky. If I remember correctly, you had to lose a pinky if a character died. Am I wrong?
Only in the whatever. What's the one? The famously horrifying dungeon.
Yes.
Tomb of Horrors.
Yeah.
Tomb of Horrors. Only if you went in the wrong door of Tomb of Horrors.
Dude, there's no right door in Tomb of Horrors.
No.
It's fucked.
So there's 2 doors that you could go through. And if you went through the wrong one, it was just immediate death. Like there was no save, no chance. The very beginning of the dungeon, just like, whoop, party's dead. All right, roll again. Just like, what?
It's so fucked.
It's fucked up, yeah.
We'll have to talk about it sometime on the fucking
Yeah.
Patreon or something. But anyway, because I also watched a whole thing about the Tomb of Horrors, and I was like, this was fucking stupid
Yeah,
shit.
it's so dumb.
Anyway, so Randy, will you roll for me, please?
I will. Nariko, you got a 15.
All right.
Dan, you got an 8.
Oh, what happened? Did I just get to go first?
Yeah, you get to go
Holy
first.
shit! Damn, what? Has that ever happened? All right, most metal, Wonder of the World. I'm gonna have to go with the Roman Colosseum.
Okay.
Roman Colosseum because it's a giant fight club. It's just a big Fight Club warehouse that stands till this day. It opened in 80 CE, and it holds anywhere from 50,000 to 80,000 people inside, which is fucking massive. And it was just a bloodbath in it. It was just a big stadium. It was basically just like, imagine if you were just in like the Moda Center. You're in some basketball arena, only way bigger, and inside there's just like it's just it's a bunch of Christians versus lions, which I would watch now, frankly.
Yeah, for sure.
I would have a favorite lion. I'm gonna get him, Cecil. Fuck that dude up. And I would also, at chariot races, it was like the fucking cooler NASCAR of its day. Another thing I would probably watch. They used to flood the stadium for naval battles. They would have full-size ships attack each other.
Yeah.
That fucking rocks. Then, of course, gladiator fights and shit. And, like, it's just awesome that they would just comb the entire world for, like, animals and, like, people to fight and shit. And it's fucking sick. It was just a big UFC bloodbath.
Yeah.
And it was massive. I don't know. I as a wonder of the world, I just love that it was just a big. It's just a fight club. It's just a fight club for kings.
Except for everybody
huge.
Talked about Fight Club back then. Like
Yeah,
it wasn't an underground thing.
Yeah.
It was like, well, it was I mean, it was more like Death Club. Like like I don't even know. I don't know what the life expectancy was of gladiators, but I don't think it was very high.
It was
like
not great.
There'd probably like one or two would win, but it's weird that they used that to train the rebel force that rose up and almost destroyed Rome at one point. They're like, we just spent all this time teaching these guys to fight, and then they had the audacity to use those skills against us when Spartacus rose up. Mm-hmm. That would have been dope to see.
According to the quick research I just did, the life expectancy for a Roman gladiator was between 20 and 35. Shocking.
Yeah, that seems about right. After 35, you're probably just not that great anymore.
Right.
I think you might be able to retire at that point. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them did.
But the Colosseum also had this. The floor of the Colosseum used to retract, so it would pull apart in the middle to expose all of the really fucking cool tunnels and canals that you can see in there now. And they're actually working on rebuilding that to make it an active retractable floor again, which is pretty dope. Yeah. It's massive. It is so much bigger than you think it is when you're there. It's fucking huge. Yeah. And half of like a quarter of it fell away during an earthquake 200 years ago. So it was even bigger when it was fully formed.
Yeah.
According to this, again, quick research because you brought up a good question, Dan. The gladiator Flama died at 30, and he had fought in the Colosseum 34 times, winning 21. So they, if you were still a good fighter, like they would keep you alive. They were like, that dude, it's only if you got fucked up like a bitch or something, like kill this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if you think about it, it's kind of like the original pardon. That it's the pardon that the president gets. It's basically just the same thing. They're like, we should bring back that thing where I get to decide who lives and who dies.
Yeah, I think a lot of it also depended on the emperor. Like, I'm pretty sure some of them were like decent, but Nero probably was never like, oh, he lost, let him live. Like, no, I'm gonna before I burn my city, I want to see that guy die. Yeah.
I had read a thing that Nero wasn't even a good violin player. Like, people were like, yeah, he's not very good. So he was just playing shitty violin while it burned. It's like a Shreds video. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, for sure.
They're like, Jesus Christ.
But how is he? It's one of those things where how is Nero ever going to know that he needed to get better?
Right.
Because no one was going to be like, dude, that sucked. Like, he was like, then he'd just fucking kill you and your whole family. You had to.
Why, this calls for a song.
And all the people in the audience, all the Colosseum, all the senators are like, yes. That's fantastic, Nero. I've never heard better.
It's just a guy biting through his own molars. Like plays his hot cross buns.
He just plays chopsticks every fucking day, out there, the scales.
Who was? I think it's Ted Alexandro. I think he has a joke about how hot cross buns and 3 Blind Mice are the exact same song. There's like 3 of them.
I believe that is him. Yeah,
and it's so fucking funny. You're just like, oh wait, yeah, they're all the same song. But yeah, that's my choice. Roman Colosseum.
Okay.
OG Dark Kumite.
Yes, for sure. So my choice, I'm going to go with Mount Everest.
I'll go with a
as
natural
my wonder of the world because it is covered with frozen dead rich people. Like it has a carpet of bodies leading all the way up and down. It's mostly like aggressively rich assholes that died, and their Sherpa just left them behind, which have to be like honestly one of the best benefits of being a Sherpa. There's the fitness for sure, but every once in a while you just get to leave a white guy to die in the ice.
Yep.
And that's got to feel pretty good. Yeah, I mean, it's just it's a mountain. Like if that ever thaws due to global warming, we're gonna see like it's gonna be like 3 people deep, just a layer of bodies on the fucking Mount Everest. We're gonna have a corpse avalanche when it fucking closes up. Just like a giant fucking tumbling ball of dead people roll down that hill. It's
that rocks.
Yeah, I think it's fucking awesome.
I don't even get the fucking point of climbing it. You know what I mean? Where it's just like, I did it. I did that thing that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. But I don't know. It's just like,
how much does it cost?
At this point, it's really dumb.
But I mean, after like the first, I don't know, 1,000 people did it. It's like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stupid. I don't know. I also don't see the point of running a marathon, but I'm lazy. You know what I mean? Like I just don't. I'm like, no. You know.
So to climb Mount Everest, it could be as little as 30,000. Most people pay 45,000. Some people above 150.
But
so
I wonder what the difference is between the budget trip of Mount Everest and the luxury trip.
The luxury trip, you're just being carried on a litter.
Yeah. Pretty much.
By like shirtless boys. Faster! My soup is getting cold!
It's a velvet line fucking...
There's more chowder at the top. Hustle!
You get to take the escalator they built on Mount Everest.
Yeah. It's like, I didn't create Chick-fil-A just to sit around and have you lazy boys carry me slowly. I'm rich. I'm mutton Chick-fil-A.
I don't work on Sunday.
You, however, drag my corpulent ass to the top.
Yeah, for sure. I wonder, so I don't know if there's any indication if this is a thing you can look up or not, but who is the fattest guy that's made it to the top of Mount Everest?
That's a great question.
Like,
you know what? That fucking rules.
There has to be like the Guinness Book of World Records for the fattest dude.
Dan, so this probably has to do with Google's algorithm, but I just typed in fattest and it finished off with person to climb Everest.
What the fuck?
No.
Yeah, I swear to God.
That's something people look up a lot?
Apparently.
No,
that's just the number one thing.
It heard me say it, and then like it's listening to the Squadcast stream, and it's just like, oh, that's what they're gonna look for. That's fucking weird. That's it.
I don't know which one's more horrifying, frankly. Actually, if the majority of Americans, when they type in the word fattest, and the next thing they type in is person to climb Mount Everest, that makes me very hopeful about America. Or I'm like, all right.
Did you look up a picture of Mount Everest prior to typing that other search term in?
Yeah, I looked up the cost to climb Mount Everest.
Oh,
okay.
well, yeah. See, there you go. That's how.
Yeah.
I disagree.
I like your idea better, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty explainable.
That'd be so funny where they're just like...
Everybody's like, fattest guy to climb Mount Everest. What is it? Huh? I want it.
I don't think so. But yeah, like that's... I mean, there's been like disabled people and stuff that have made it to the top and like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like dudes missing legs and shit. So I don't know. I'm just saying like, but I don't know if fattest is something they're going to take stock of. They're like weighing everybody.
No, I was just wondering. I mean, it would only really be relevant if it was somebody that was like surprisingly big. Like if it was like, it was like 500 pounds.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
Somebody that is either going to climb Mount Everest or become part of his chair. Like those two things are possible.
It's like, all right, just going to take a quick roll call here. Steven here. Martin here. Yokozuna. All right, I'm gonna have to have you finish most of that turkey before we get to base camp. Martin was actually the fattest one in that thing. So if you thought Yokozuna, that's you, and
that's
you're
you're racist.
I don't know. That's a fucking great choice. Corpse Mountain, Mount Everest.
Yes, Mount
It's
Everest.
also frozen turds. It's frozen turds and dead rich guys.
It's
$30,000 for the worst hike in the world.
God, dude, that it just sounds like it sounds horrible.
Yeah, you need oxygen to make it to. That sucks.
We're not supposed to go there. Like
How
it's
about
clear.
you just don't?
I mean, the only people that are supposed to get up there are like the Sherpas that can go up there and still breathe.
Check this out. How about you hike to my house and give me the $30,000?
Yeah, for sure.
How about
From
that,
wherever
sweet?
you are in the world.
There you go. It's still really cool. No, actually, way cooler. I would even say.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a great choice, Dan. Most metal. So for those are our choices for most metal wonder of the world. I chose the Roman Colosseum. Dan chose Mount Everest.
Yep.
If you're watching right now on the Twitch stream, go ahead and just vote in the comments now, and we'll at the end of the show we'll tally those and we'll see who won. And if you're listening on the podcast, every Wednesday sometimes Thursday on Instagram on our Instagram stories, we'll put those up, let you guys vote on them there, and we'll tell them the next week who won. There's plenty of backups for this. My backup would have to be the Great Pyramid of Giza.
Ooh, yeah.
Because it's fucking badass. It's just a giant headstone. Like it's just like I want a headstone that God stubs his toe on when he's walking around. You know what I mean? Like I want a good. But it also was the world's tallest building for 3,800 years.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy. And then even after it was like beat, like later on with like chapels and stuff in medieval Europe, they were only beat by like the tall like antennas and shit that they put on the spires, right?
Yeah.
Like so just the metal point that they'd put on the top, which is cheating. I think we can all agree.
Yeah. It's like if you wear a top hat and say you're 7 feet tall. Like
Right.
Right.
But it's just at the top of the hat, man. Like it's a foot tall hat.
But it's so crazy to think about. You make something, and then for the next like almost 4 millennia, it's the tallest. It was the peak of human like endeavors for
A long
like
time.
that's fucking crazy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like so. I don't know. It's cool. It's full of mysteries. When the British came in and they started like excavating like shit. I forget the fucking archaeologist's name, but he straight up just like blew a hole in the side of it with dynamite. He's like, I think there's a door in there. And he's like, I guess not. Moving on. And you're just like, God, like that's literally a story. Like there's a big chunk out of one side where a guy just blew it up with dynamite and was like, oh, All right, I guess I was wrong. Could have swore.
Dude, the British were so fucking lame. Like when they were like conquering the everything on Earth, they treated every country so horribly.
Oh yeah. It's so fucking insane. They were just like, I mean, like they just went back. They went into like Egypt and they're like, this is really great antiques. Take them back. Put them on a boat. Those are ours. Like whatever. You're like,
yeah, for sure.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Would be funny if I went the other way. I was like, what? England?
Really?
I thought they weren't they nice to like India? Do I have that wrong?
You definitely have that wrong.
It's fucking 100%.
100% wrong on that one.
Fucking crazy.
Dude,
but the Great Pyramids are just fucking sick. Massive, humongous. They still debate whether like how much of it was built by slaves and how much of it was built with straight up like artisan like engineers and stuff. Because the slaves make sense with the manpower and moving all the blocks and stuff. But the level of exact engineering and stuff, like where you can't even put a credit card between those fucking blocks, those like 2-ton blocks, is like it's literally shows like a. They've also found in the pyramid like graffiti where people were like bragging about like they were like whatever Rock Troop 286 loves the Pharaoh or whatever like
yeah.
But
but the writing just looked like an eye and a crow with a crown,
right? I'm sorry,
a sun and a boat. It was just hieroglyphs.
Exactly.
The original OG emojis.
Right.
Yeah.
OG emoji is a fun thing to say.
It does roll off the tongue, which is weird.
We should do it sometime, but most metal ancient graffiti would be really fun. To look that up.
Yeah, we could do that.
I saw a special. There was one where I was watching I watch a lot of history stuff on YouTube, but they found one in Pompeii where the guy was like, "Sorry, ladies, but Adonicus only bangs dudes now." And it was so funny, and I ended up tweeting. I was like, "Man, this had to be like the second worst thing to happen to the women of Pompeii." But yeah, so great. The Great Pyramid of Giza. That's my choice.
Very cool.
So I actually I picked a lot of like natural wonders for whatever reason. So one that struck me because I had read a little bit about it, but I didn't know much about it is called Pando. It's the largest organism on the planet Earth. It's a forest in Utah.
Yeah.
It covers 100 acres, but is all one tree. Like the root system has grown and then popped back up. They say they estimated it weighs at 13 million pounds.
Damn.
It's an aspen forest in Utah that is just one giant fucking tree. And I think that's awesome. I'm sad that it's in Utah of all fucking places. I wish it was somewhere else because it's probably
surprised they haven't burned it yet.
Yeah, it's endangered right now. Like they keep fucking with it because they take where they're like it's not getting enough water because they're bleeding off water to have green lawns in Salt Lake or some shit. But yeah, it's a giant plant. It's the largest plant in the world.
That fucking rules.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
There's talk also, I think somewhere in the Pacific Northwest here, but there's like one big fungus structure like that's like that they've tracked. They're like, oh, this is just all one fungus like that grows underneath the ground, which is like
massive. I've heard about that, but I don't know how big that is.
Yeah, I don't know either. I'm just saying like that's another example of something cool like that. But this thing sounds cooler than that because it's fucking trees and it's visible.
Yeah. Well, the mushrooms can like their mycelium can connect mushrooms from a pretty good distance. So they can all be the same organism for all we know. Yeah,
there's one. But that's fucking cool, man. I really like that. I like that I don't know. It makes me want to like, I don't know. It's just, I like it a lot. Sorry. I was thinking about
I would go there and check it out, like walk through it or whatever. Or
I fucking love that.
It'd be awesome.
Oh, damn. Nariko, I think you were referring to the honey mushroom in Eastern Oregon. Mm-hmm. It is, as of this article I'm looking at in 2019, the largest and oldest organism on Earth.
Oh, it's the largest now?
Yeah.
How big?
Yeah, keep in mind, like, what I'm looking at is naming this mushroom as the largest organism, whereas, like, the one in Utah could be the largest root system. There's a lot of different ways to categorize
it's probably heavier
it.
and
yeah,
more dense.
Yeah, for sure. The forest weighs more than the mushroom.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's fucking cool. And they
Where
call it
is
the
that?
honey mushroom because you can fuck it.
It is in Eastern Oregon in the Malheur National Forest.
That's where the Bundys took over that
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
that wildlife refuge.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I can't believe they fucking endangered that fucking mushroom.
Amongst other things.
Oh, right. And that's the worst thing they did.
Yep.
When they found out, like, after that was all over, by the way, the wildlife refuge thing, like the standoff, the Mellior wildlife refuge standoff, that place was like 50% FBI agents, like inside the building. Like, it was like 50% dudes undercover and boxes of dildos that were sent there.
That was
people
awesome.
online. So fucking sick. All right. I don't know. The only other backup I had was there was the mausoleum at Halicarnassus. I forgot when it was built, but it was built for an ancient ruler named Mausolus, and he basically like wanted to make this like one city super beautiful, and he made a giant temple that's like stands up like higher than anything else in the city. It has a stairway that leads to it. It's lined with statues, and then inside of it, he had it's one room with a coffin in it where it's his casket. So it's an above ground. It's a mausoleum, which is named after him, Mausolus. That's where that word came from.
Oh, okay.
Which is sick.
Yeah.
Your name means room for a dead guy. That fucking shreds. I don't know. I just thought that was super fucking cool. Like you're like,
rad.
hello, I'm Emperor Cadaver View. Oh, I'm Lord Rotlook. Come take a gander. Old coffin foyer. Anyway, like I ran out. But I think it's, I don't know. I thought that was fucking super cool that this guy invented the mausoleum and it's named after him. Mausolus was his name. So yeah. That was the only other one I had.
The only other one I was wanted to mention was the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
Only because I visited it once, and it's your brain can't even handle how big it is. Like you're looking at it, you're like, I can't really see this. Like it won't. Like your brain can't wrap around it. Yeah. But the other thing that was a mystery to me while I was there, one of the wonders that I've seen, is how many people were hanging out, like walking out on places that don't have a railing, and it's just a straight drop of like 500 to 1,000 feet. Yeah. And they're just chilling up there, and I didn't see anyone fall off. And I was fucking astonished. I was watching people like walking backwards along this thing, waiting to get the good picture, and no one died. And I sat there and watched that for a half an hour, expecting someone to fall off, and no one did. And that was that's impressive.
When I went to the Grand Canyon, I literally, like, first thing we did is like wait there, and like it's just like a low rock wall that you like that's like whatever, and then you're like you said 500 to 1,000 feet. It's like straight down. But I sat there and like almost immediately like leaned back too far and was like like, and my friend had to like grabbed my arm, and I was like, Jesus Christ. And like, so almost the first thing I did after like a 4-hour car ride was just fall off and into the Grand Canyon. Like, no fucking joke. So it's so funny that you mentioned that, because I'm like, oh yeah, I was almost that guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw
Had to
so
helicopter
many
me
of
out.
them.
Yeah, helicopter me out on a fucking sandwich board or whatever. Just fucking.
They would not bother helicoptering you out. You wouldn't have lived. There would be nothing to helicopter out. They'd have to go down there with a snow shovel to scrape up your remains. You'd be a thin spread of jam on top of some rocks.
That'd be worth it.
True.
All right. Well, that's been our choices for most metal wonder of the world, and that's going to bring us to the next topic.
Next topic.
Yeah. All right, guys. That's going to bring us to our next topic, which is most metal arcade game. I went first last time. Dan gets to go first this time. What is your choice?
Most metal arcade game. That's a tough one because there's just a lot.
There's a lot of good ones.
A lot of good ones. Honestly, I would have to go with Contra.
Nice.
Only because it was so fucking hard and designed to just chew through dollars. Like you could, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure people got good at it.
Yeah.
But I personally never witnessed it in an arcade. I just saw people get housed over and over and over again. That game was so fucking impossible. But it was also like pretty decent. It was pretty fun. So those two things really, it was fun, but also just, I don't know. It had that combination of just fun enough to keep you throwing quarters down its gullet.
For sure. Yeah. It was also basically based on like aliens. Like your two guys with humongous guns, like blowing away like aliens as they're like, you know. And a lot of the aliens had that xenomorph look to them and stuff, even though there was like a huge variety of them. But yeah, that game fucking rocked. And it's like the most memorable game code of all time. The up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, select, start. Is from that game.
But that was not in the arcade. That's
true. But I just mean like that's still from that game. True. And it's another way it's like shaped, you know, gaming and shit. That code is so famous that they can't use it anymore for any other games because everybody just tries it first. Even now, they're like, oh,
right,
try the old move. But yeah, that's a great choice. I loved that game. That game was stupidly fun, like impossibly.
Yeah,
and I think it's because it kept like there was the front facing, like, cause it was a side scroller, and then there was stuff that came at you on like the other, like every other level or so. Yeah. And so it changed things up a lot, like enough for you to be like, you know, one of them, like you had to crawl up like an elevator level. So it just, every level was like kind of a different challenge, and the monsters were fucking cool. That's a great choice. I loved Contra. That's probably one of my favorite old school games. So
yep,
that's a good one. My choice, Dan and Randy, most metal arcade game. I'm gonna go with Smash TV. Smash TV, made in 1990 by Midway Games. It's from the makers of Narc, another fucking super metal game.
That's a really good game.
It's based on The Running Man, the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, which fucking rules. It takes place in the far-flung future of 1999. Where two men are trapped in a deadly game show where you destroy hordes of enemies room by room for cash prizes and VCRs, which also VCRs weren't even around in like 99, or actually 99 was like the last year of the VCR. Yeah. It came with like the double Titanic box. And then so you get cash prizes and VCRs. You also get to collect a series of keys that gets you into the pleasure dome, the final, what you're trying to win the entire game. But because of the 15-month development time, there was no pleasure dome. The game was literally impossible to beat. You just would play it, shovel quarter after quarter into it, and the keys did nothing. They led to nothing, and you could collect as many as you wanted, and it didn't do shit. if you step on a landmine in the game, you're blown into like bits, and your eyeballs flew into the screen like they were like larger than the rest of it. The metal band Mutoid Man gets their name from the first boss in Smash TV. I don't know. I just the game is fucking awesome. It's like absolutely what you were saying. Just a quarter muncher. Like that's all it did. Because it's just an endless like heaping. It's basically like not Golden Axe. What the fuck is the game I'm thinking of?
Gauntlet. Are you thinking of Gauntlet?
Gauntlet, yes. It's just like Gauntlet.
Someone mentioned Gauntlet in the chat.
Gauntlet is great.
A fucking great game too. Yeah.
But it's like Gauntlet, but you're like, and it was the first. I think it was one of the first games with the two controllers, like one controller, two sticks. So one stick moved your movement, the other stick was just which direction you were shooting nonstop.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just to me it's like it just checks all the boxes for rad shit. It's based on a Schwarzenegger movie. You're in a game show where you murder shit for money. And then you couldn't win. It was all a lie.
Yeah.
That you couldn't win. To me, that's like another thing too, where it's like, I feel like that's a very like millennial Gen X thing, where it's like only like we just right from the get go, we're the ones that like had just there was no winning. It was all a fucking lie. You just got jaded real early in life. You're just like, who gives a shit? All of our games are just meant to be fucking impossible and like extract as much wealth out of your teen pockets. I don't know. I love it. So Smash TV is my choice.
That's a good choice.
Those are our choices for most metal arcade game. Dan chose Contra, and I chose Smash TV. Again, if you're watching on Twitch, go ahead and vote in the bottom. And if you're listening on the podcast, we'll put those up on Wednesday on our Instagram stories and let you vote on them. My backup, or you had a backup, Dan. You need to go next.
One backup. I have a couple. One of my backups is a game called Satan's Hollow. It was a little bit like Galaga, like you were just killing gargoyles, but you were trying to gather stones to build a bridge that you could cross to kill Satan himself with a rocket launcher. And then when you killed him, it would start over again. And it was, and your figure like basically looked like a pitchfork down below, but it was like a ship kind of shaped like a pitchfork. It had a cool soundtrack. It had a pretty decent look, and it was also banned in my hometown because it was called Satan's Hollow. So I didn't get to play it unless we came into Portland.
I love that they never like look into anything deeper than just seeing the box.
They just saw
what is this?
They just saw Satan and said nope. So yeah, it wasn't a fun game. I never really got into it that much, but it had a cool name. It had a cool name and a good art aesthetic for its time, for sure.
Yeah, I'm just like looking at it right now. I was unaware of this game, but yeah, it looks really fucking awesome.
It probably stopped being played before you were old enough to even play video games.
Like it was made in '82, so yeah. That might be the case.
That was my youth arcade shit like that, and fucking asteroids and whatnot.
Yeah, well, I mean, the really good Atari games are still fucking badass, you know.
Yeah.
That's a great choice. My backup, Dan and Randy, was a game I played at the Treefort Festival in Idaho. It was an arcade machine called Harambe Kong, where you play the gorilla Harambe, and you're basically a little like you're in a cage. You're not in a cage, but you're in an area, and you're trying to collect food like little bananas and oranges. But there's also little kids walking around, and if you touch a little kid, the zookeeper comes out with a rifle and shoots you in the head, and that's So the whole time is just to dodge kids, while you collect bananas. It's super fucking funny. I looked at it's made by a company called Digital Berserk in 2017, and I was just reading an article about him. And he, the reason why he made the game was quote unquote because he fucking hates zoos. So, fucking, that's honestly kind of, you're like,
Pretty
that makes
tight.
sense.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense, honestly. It totally, I don't know, that just rocks to me. So, Harambe Kong, I played it for a while. There was a game called, what was it? It was like Harambe Kong, and then there was another one called like Go Cecil Go, and this is where you're Cecil the lion, trying not to get stabbed by, like, get shot by arrows as you like jumped platforms. It was so fucked. But anyway, so that's my backup is Harambe Kong.
Harambe Kong. Well, I like it.
Yeah. Do you have another backup?
Yeah. This isn't because it's a good game or probably that anyone who's listening has heard of it, unless you're in your Gen X. It's a game called Star Castle, and it looked a little bit like Asteroids, like it was that kind of wireframe graphics. But the reason that I'm choosing it, they had one in this pizza place near my hometown in Bay City, and my dad and his friends went over there, and me and my stepbrother and sister were there. My dad got super drunk and just started handing us quarters. So we played Star Castle for a while. And then we realized all you have to do to beat that game is hold one of the turn buttons down and the thrust down and then fire at the same time. And because the only thing trying to shoot you is a cannon in the middle that kind of tracks your ship, because you're spinning around so much, it can't hit you. So we ended up playing for like 5 hours on just one quarter after we figured it out. We would have to take turns like holding down the buttons and hitting fire because you just get tired after a while.
That's so
But we
funny.
just spent the entire time doing that. We did it for so long that it kind of broke the game. Like it didn't, like it stopped getting faster. It just hit this point where it was like, I guess this is all I can do. It just threw its hands up. It's just like, all right.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
Dude, that's a hell of a feat to be a kid and figure out how to break an Atari machine. It's pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Because those games are like just brutal.
Yeah, it was one of those. It was one of the sit down ones too. Like, so we could put our whatever pizza plate. I mean, I had a plate of pizza on the console and could still beat it because I didn't even have to look at that point. It's fucking ridiculous.
That fucking rocks. My only other backup is Splatterhouse. I've talked about it a bunch of times on the podcast.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Made in 1988. It's basically the first violent video game I can think of. But you're a guy in a hockey mask that walks through a haunted house, just keep punching zombies and hitting them with an axe and shit.
Yeah.
The best part, like what really gets me about the game, is that the guy who made it had to be like, what if on Friday the 13th Jason was the hero? Which is a psycho fucking thing to think.
Yes.
You're like, yeah, you know who I identify with? The guy killing the cheerleaders. Or whatever. You're like, yikes. I fucking love it though. The game is it's super violent. My favorite it's definitely on the arcade, but it wasn't. But if you had there's a 2x4 you could pick up, and you would, when you hit zombies, they would fly out of where you're at into the background and smash on the wall. So it would just like splatter on the back wall, and it's still fucking tough. Like there was a version of it that they had at ground control for a little bit, where the actual the joystick, like the top of it looked like a bunch of like melted flesh, and the joystick was a bone, and the two buttons were eyeballs, and and it fucking rocked. I played the shit out of it when I ran ground control or. No pun intendo there.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's it for me. But yeah, I don't know. Do you have any others you want to talk about, Dan?
Nah, I mean,
okay.
There's a bunch of others that we could have mentioned, but
it's an endless fucking amount. But I'm gonna go. So that's been it for Most Metal arcade game, and so that's gonna bring us to the polls. Yeah. So this part of the show where producer Randy's going to tell us who won last week in our choices.
So last week, we had Most Metal Sports Mascot and Most Metal Human Bone.
Word.
So for Most Metal Sports Mascot, it was Whitstreet's choice Demon Deacon. versus Nariko's Cyril the Swan. And with 62% of the vote, Cyril the Swan has taken it.
Yeah. Cyril is the shit.
Okay.
You have to listen to the to that episode, Dan, but basically Cyril was like a fucking drunken maniac that literally, who was arrested multiple times in the swan outfit.
I do recall reading something about that, yeah.
It's fucking fantastic. There's a Dollop episode about Cyril the Swan on the Dollop UK in England. It's like an offshoot podcast they did. But yeah. So I highly suggest anybody listen to that. Anyway.
And then for Most Metal Human Bone, it was the inner ear bone trinity versus the coccyx, the tailbone. And you guys, we had a 50-50 split.
Oh, shit! We got tiebreaker? I'm gonna roll
tie
the
crusher
tie
right
crusher.
here.
Oh, nice.
So
You
tie
found
crushers. Yeah, so Randy's going to roll the tie crusher die. It's a 120-sided die given by a super metal listener, Matt Silber. It is massive.
Yeah, it's essentially a cue ball.
Yes.
That has dents in it. It's insane. I'm surprised it ever stops. Like, it just
It's so funny.
Yeah, I have to roll this because my desk is very uneven now. So here we go.
Oh, man.
Okay. I'm going to say Wit got a 94.
Okay.
Tough to beat.
Hard to beat that.
And Nariko, you got a 97.
Oh, man, that was close.
Yeah, you're damn right. My choice was the shit. Remember, the tailbone, I chose it because it proves God doesn't exist. 100% proof of evolution. It's a tailbone. Yeah, fuck it, that's great. Well, good work, everybody. Great voting. Want to throw a shout out again to Whitney Street for sitting in.
Killing it.
Yeah.
So
so
that
good.
was fucking awesome, and it was super fun. And I think that's going to bring us to the Ride the Lightning round. So this is the part of the show where producer Randy will pick a topic, and from users that have in the comments below have suggested some things, and then and also previously.
Yep.
But he will give us one of those topics that you've suggested at random, and then Dan and I, with no research at all, just using our intergalactic hive minds, to pull all the knowledge from the fields and energies of the universe to give our answers. It takes slightly shorter than the barely any research we do. Anyway.
And shout out to you guys this week because we weren't even 15 minutes into the show, and I had 2 Post-its full of topics.
Oh, fuck yeah. Hey, great work,
They
guys.
fucking crushed it this week.
That's fucking great.
And they're all great.
I'll be I'll decide if they were any good at this. All right. What do we got? Let's do
Fuck,
it.
man. There's some really good ones in here. We're going to start off with most metal English-speaking accent.
That's so good.
Right? It's a super good topic.
Okay.
It's like a Bostonian accent or a New York accent or a British accent.
Yeah, I got you. Okay. Yeah.
All right. All right. I've got mine.
All right. I'll roll for you first, Nariko. You got a 6. Dan, you also got a 6.
Uh-oh.
But I'm going to keep with the 20-sided. Nariko, you got a 16. Dan, you got a 5. Nariko, you go first.
I'm gonna go Australian. It's an insane accent. I love it. It's how many letters are in the how many letters are in the word no in Australia? It's a 16-letter like long word. Oh no! It's like
Why?
it's there's an R, there's a Y, there's a couple of A's. It's fantastic. Oh no! It's like what? The Australian accent is fucking great. It can sound abrasive, and like if you watch the original Mad Max, like it's just like this is a lot to deal with. Like it's hard to even suss out what they're saying. It can be abrasive, And also, it can be kind of a hot accent, like who, you know what I mean? Like if it's you know, if it's right, if it's good, if it's right, it's like it's kind of hot accent. I mean, my favorite thing right now, and also the other thing about the Australian accent, it is probably my favorite accent for punk bands right now because it's fucking it's the perfect accent for like when you're trying to sound like snotty and obnoxious, like for that style, you're just like, yeah, I want to do mother thing, I want, you know, no, or whatever. You're like, oh fuck yeah. Dude, that's why I love the chats. I love Emil and the Sniffers. Like, I'm a big fan of like Australian punk right now. I'm just like, it's so perfect. But I'm gonna go the Australian accent. I think it's badass.
Okay. That's a good one. I'm gonna go with the Cockney accent.
Yes.
Okay.
Fuck
England.
yes.
Just because you know, some of my favorite metal bands had singers that had that accent, like Ozzy Osbourne, Black Sabbath, even a couple guys in Iron Maiden. But mostly just because it's what Jack the Ripper spoke with when he gutted people back in the day. Like, oh, governor, like, see you later. Here's your entrails. I can't do it at all. I can't do accents even a little bit without sounding racist. So I'm not even going to try.
No matter what kind of accent, it's always racist.
No matter what accent you do, it's just Jamaican.
Yeah. Yeah, the only accent I can pull off is a vaguely Eastern European accent.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, which is also cool.
Yeah, it's also good, but that's not an English.
It's
not an English language accent. That's,
you
know, I would have picked it otherwise.
Absolutely.
But yeah, Cockney, just because it's so like chimney sweeps, like stereotypically spoken at, like the Mary Poppins, easily the best character in that movie.
It's the working class English.
It's the working class English accent, and they probably fight a lot. I don't know. So yeah, I'd say Cockney accent.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
It's great. Adorable. Also, much like the Australian accent, those are two accents that you can't listen to in a guided meditation. Like neither one of those. Neither one of those is soothing or relaxing, even a little bit.
All right, let go. All right, you want to get down here? Start really thinking about what you want to do now. Now, I want you to really do your breathing, all right? And get right. I want you to be just as snug as a roo in a Joey's pouch. You know? Get right in there.
Close your eyes.
Oh, that's a good cunt. That's a good cunt.
Exactly. Yeah.
I can say it in that accent. So, no. So, guys, if you're listening on Twitch or watching on Twitch, however you do your thing, in the comments right now, decide who won between Dan and I. Was it the Australian accent or was it the Cockney accent?
Yep.
I'd have to say transatlantic is also pretty fucking close.
Transatlantic is fun. It's just fun.
It's so fun.
But
and
nobody
it
uses it anymore.
Nobody ever spoke like that. I think it's fucking amazing. I'll tell you one thing right now, Mr. Buckaroo. You know, whatever. It's like nobody ever talked like that. Imagine somebody like, even in like the 1910s or whatever, some guy's like, hey, listen here, Buster Brown, or whatever. And it's just like, there's just some guy going, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm the mayor, and y'all sound fucking dumb. So that's...
Read a book.
God damn. Sounds stupid as shit.
Yeah.
Anyway. Let's do one more. Fuck
okay. Let's go with most metal drinking vessel.
I think we've done this one.
Have we?
I think so.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all right.
I mean, we're going to take skull off the table, right? Like, I mean, that's like... that's the go-to.
Hang on. I know we did cheese.
I think we've done most metal drinking vessel before.
Okay.
I feel pretty confident we have.
Yeah. So go listen to that episode.
Right. Fucking however many ago it was. Let's go with. I'll let you guys choose because they're kind of similar. Most metal soundtrack or most metal theme song.
Oh. You know what we should do sometime? Most metal theme song where the name of the movie is in the theme song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm down.
I that's my favorite style. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where they're just like, it's another 48 hours. You gotta know we only have 48 hours. Nick Nolte and Eddie Murphy. Nick Nolte's is racist as fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know. What was it? I'm sorry, I forgot.
Either theme song or soundtrack.
Let's metal theme song or soundtrack. I feel like soundtrack would be easier. I don't know. What do you think, Dan?
I think it's a toss-up. So
Okay. I can't think of either. Okay. All right. Most metal soundtrack.
And Dan, you would go first.
okay.
Yeah, would be you.
Most metal soundtrack.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna go with the soundtrack to a movie called Judgment Night.
Fuck! Damn it! That was my choice.
Because it's like it's all metal bands and rap music combined.
Okay.
Every song is like metal backed rap or a metal band playing. I don't know. It's all that style. Like
Yeah,
and it's fucking awesome. The soundtrack is great from beginning to end.
but it's bands. It's metal bands and rap bands.
Yeah.
Joining up to do songs, so it's
Yes.
not like just rap metal bands or whatever.
No,
You know what
no.
I mean? Like so. Yeah. So it's fucking awesome.
It
Like,
wasn't even. I don't even think rap metal was a thing when that
yeah.
soundtrack happened, or if it was like really, really in the very, very beginnings of the trend.
absolutely.
So
The Onyx Biohazard slam is the shit.
yeah,
Still fucking good. That still bangs. I fucking love that. We used to listen to that soundtrack at my work a lot. We're just like, yeah, throw that on.
yeah, it's
Because it's really fucking
it's
cool.
really good.
Yeah. Fucking body counts on that. Fucking, I don't know. That's a fucking great one.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to halt everything, but didn't Body Count win a Grammy this year? I thought
they?
I saw Ice-T
Randy, Google
accepting award this year, which I was like, that's fucking crazy.
Hang on.
That would be
Body
nuts
count?
because the most recent body count is fucking insane. So like when you listen to it, it's like not like horrible, but it's also like the dude's like 60 or whatever.
Yeah.
Like Ice-T's like an old dude. They do a cover of Institutionalized where he's like, my wife comes in, tries to get me to stop playing Xbox or whatever. And you're like, man, what?
Yeah.
You're 50 or whatever. You're like, dude, you know, these aren't.
You can't do a cover of Institutionalized if you're over 21. Like,
Dude, I think he's like bitching about taxes or something. Some like just old
Fuck
man
off.
shit. It's so funny. He's like, "Dang, my house isn't gaining enough equity," or whatever. You're like, "This isn't good."
That is not the point of that song, even a little bit.
No, I just want an Insure. I just want a vanilla Insure. God damn it! And they wouldn't give it to me.
Body Count won the Best Metal Performance Grammy for Bum Rush.
This year,
Yeah, taken from last year's Carnivore album. They won it this year for last year's album.
what?
Yeah.
That just blew my fucking brains out. Holy shit. What?
Mm-hmm.
They won for a Grammy of... It's so late.
But also, the Grammys have never gotten metal right.
That's
even
absolutely
once.
True. That's true.
So, like, Jethro Tull beat Metallica for best metal
Yeah, they
band 1 year.
fucking did.
And I could not at the time believe it, and still can't. That's very upsetting.
But what flute did Metallica play?
Yeah,
It's true.
exactly.
That's true.
My choice for most metal soundtrack would have to be for Decline of the Western Civilization Part 2,
Yeah, that's a good one.
which is Penelope Spheris just doing a documentary about LA metal bands
Yes.
in the 80s.
Yeah.
And a lot of them suck shit. and it's fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
The band Odin comes to mind with the singer and his assless chaps. There's a really great scene with the guitar player of Wasp drinking vodka with his mom in a pool.
Yeah.
It's one of the best movies
It's hilarious.
on fucking Earth. And it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So fucking killer soundtrack, real badass. Decline of the Western Civilization Part 2.
That's a good one, for sure.
Part 1's also pretty badass, but it's punk bands.
It's a different vibe.
It's definitely a different vibe.
It's definitely less. It's more political and less decadent. Like the metal one is just a bunch of people getting fucking wasted.
There's a scene with Ozzy making scrambled eggs.
Yeah.
It's just Ozzy in a bathrobe making scrambled eggs.
Wasn't that the one? I think it was either. I think it was Paul Stanley lying in bed with two women, like the satin sheets on his bed, being interviewed that way and shit. It was.
I'm sure.
It's crazy.
Complete douche.
Yeah, he was such a sack of shit.
Like both his sisters. Fucking scumbag. Fuck. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. You have a backup, Dan?
I would probably go with the Spawn soundtrack from
nice,
because that has some really that's like techno and metal bands mixed together. So like Slayer did a song with Atari Teenage Riot, and there was Crystal Method did something with I forget. I think it was Filter. There was just music like that. It was good. I listened to it all the time.
That fucking rocks. If I had to choose another one, I would just go like Terminator 2, Guns N' Roses. That's it. I don't know.
All Dazed and Confused has a good soundtrack.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's true. That's a great one. That'd be fun to dive into.
Yeah. I'll keep this one active on the chart,
sure.
on the sheet.
I don't know, Randy, do we have some winners?
We should take Judgment Night off the table, though.
You think so? Yeah, because that's pretty.
That's
badass.
pretty much the clear winner. So let's.
I think so. I think you're right.
For most metal English-speaking accent, Cockney is going to take it.
Oh, damn it!
For the time being, anyway.
Okay.
Let's see. Nothing for soundtrack yet.
Okay, that's fine.
Well, we failed apparently.
They're like, yeah, you didn't do it. Well, anyway, gang, that's been the episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been a fun one. Want to thank again Whitney Streed for doing it last week. Want to thank Empire of Pigs for doing our soundtrack. By the way, they have a new video out, which I plan on posting about on Instagram. But they have a new video out for a new song off their album that's about to come out. So that's pretty badass.
Decline of Western Civilization 1.
Yeah. You're damn right. You're damn right. Dude, that movie's so fucking funny.
It is.
We should watch it sometime.
Speaking of which,
just speaking of the Decline of Western Civilization,
watching movies.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I also want to real quick. I know we wanted to do.
You just went right over that. You were supposed to.
Oh well, I don't know what movie we're fucking doing. I was like,
I thot you just mentioned that we do it
for the
at the beginning.
For the Patreon, we watch movies. Join the Patreon. If you want to chime in with some specifics, fucking go for it, Mr. Man. But I know we wanted to talk about just real quick. Wanted to say rest in peace to Jessica Walter.
Yes.
From Archer and Arrested Development. That a fucking awesome comedic actress. Been in the game for fucking decades and decades.
Yeah.
Anyway, I saw a thing where they were like one of their first movies was with like Candice Bergen in like the fucking 60s and shit. It's like like black and white. Like I don't know, fucking really cool. Anyway, like Lucille Booth is probably one I will say is like it's gonna go down as like a Lucille Ball.
Level,
like, beloved character. Like just complete. That's fucking awesome.
She has some of the between Arrested Development and Archer. She has some of the funniest lines in TV history.
Oh yeah,
like god damn.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, and then like and just delivered with complete like sincerity and like and reality. Like they're never goofy. It's always just like listen. Like it's just like straight up like just means it, and they're so perfect. It's like exactly the way to talk about vodka going bad.
Right.
Which is still one of my favorite jokes in Arrested Development. Look, I opened it, so I have to finish the bottle or it goes bad. You're like, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't know. Let's just hope that in heaven she's being surprised by Gene Parmesan one more time. You know? Anyway, but yeah, I definitely want to thank all of our Patreon supporters. You guys help us keep this this shit show, this poo sack burning on the doorstep of life.
Yeah.
If you join Patreon, like we watch movies and shit, put them up online. You do a little movie watch-alongs. You get access to a bunch of other shit. Dice, T-shirts, you name it. I'll make something. Fuck it. Macaroni and glue. You you let me know what you need. But I'll come to your house. I'll watch a movie with you. I mean, that's at the point where we're at. If the donation's high enough. $10,000 we'll fly to your house.
Didn't we actually put that on the page? Isn't there one that we were like, no one will ever pay this, so then we put a promise on there like we'll fly to wherever you want to go.
Yeah,
and do an
I took it
episode
down
in your house.
I took it down, but if anybody gives us $15,000, we'll fly to your home and record an episode and give it to you right there, and you can do whatever the fuck you want with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We'll do your topics.
Yeah.
We'll use your bathroom.
We'll roast your family and friends.
Sure.
Oh, God, yes.
Whatever. Yeah.
Shamelessly. You let us know what you need.
Yeah.
A Dan exclusive wet t-shirt contest.
They're all black, so you can't see shit.
You still can't see anything.
It's just going to be me wearing a damp t-shirt. That's all that's
You just get to watch Dan get very mad.
Yeah. Very uncomfortable.
Dan's just like, wow, I'm pissed off. And then you get to know what that's like. And yeah, so I don't know. I don't know. Do you guys anything else? Dan, you going to be anywhere? Gonna do anything?
Not in a couple weeks. I'll be in Astoria, doing a show.
Nice.
But other than that, I don't have anything coming up.
Tight. Well, I think that's everything for Dan, Randy, and I. Thanks for joining us, and hail Satan. Fuck 12.
Hail Satan.
Hail Satan.
Fuck
pigs.
Lying face down the street, take everything I can breathe. Let the reckoning begin. American sin, burning into the ash. Begin again, rise up to the moment. Smash on supremacy, killing women living free. They're begging,
mostly plainclothes police officers while being placed under arrest. One of the officers employed a chokehold. Moments later, while on the ground after complaining he couldn't breathe, he was dead.
Then started to tell the officer that he was unarmed and that he should stop shooting me. Before he could get his senses out, the officer fired 7 more shots into his head and chest.
Recognize the victim. Unarmed man pleading with help, not a death sentence.
Carnival Studios.